शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Hari Om. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to this beautiful, most attractive, gorgeous, the holiest of the holy, the most divine temple which is within our own selves. My loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of my Guru, Papa Swami Ramdas of Anandashram, Kanjangad, Kerala, and my beloved parents. Now we are going to the last leg of Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Just like how doubts arise in our minds, doubt arose in Arjuna's mind too. Krishna, what is Tyaga? What is Sannyasa? Are they same, or is there any difference between them? Because at the back of the mind, he wanted to take sannyas. More than taking sannyas, he wanted to escape from this battlefield. Because he saw his own kith and kin, his own family elders, his own gurus on the enemy side. How shall I kill all these people? Will I be able to enjoy this kingdom by killing them? Won't it remind me of the blood shed? Will I be able to enjoy this? So the Gandiva just fell down from his hand and he collapsed there. This we have seen in the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Only when he surrenders to Krishna, Karpanya dosho bhata swabhavaha. So he says that, Krishna, you are my Guru. Until then, Arjuna hadn't accepted Krishna as his Guru. He had accepted Krishna as his cousin and as his friend, not as a Guru. Only when Arjuna surrendered, saying that, Krishna, you are the only one for me who can guide me properly in the right direction. There is nobody else. Only then Krishna starts advising him. This applies to all of us too. We know the story of Draupadi. When Dushasana and Duryodhana tried to disrobe Draupadi, she tried to hold on to her own sari to protect herself. She looked at her 5 husbands. She looked at all the elders in the court. But none came for her help. Then she lifted her hand and then called Krishna, Dwarakadisha. Then only Krishna came. That means only when we surrender totally, completely, only then he is visible to us, or his guidance is visible to us. Otherwise, guidance is always there. But it is not visible to us, or we will not be able to apply those guidelines in our lives. So first and foremost, what is needed is Sharanagati, or total surrender. So Krishna explained in these 18 chapters. The first chapter goes for Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, is a trailer of a movie. Gives introduction to all the concepts, just a brief introduction. Then from third onwards, he starts elaborating. So we have divided them into 3 shatkas. 6 chapters in one shatka. Having listened to up to 17th chapter, from 3rd chapter to 17th chapter, he has explained it very well. In spite of that, Arjuna gets a doubt. What if I take sannyasa? That is the easiest way. We also feel like taking sannyas only when we have lot of troubles in the family. In this world, when we are unable to face the difficulties or hurdles of life, then we feel, oh, let me go out. I don't want this family. I will go to Himalaya and do tapas. It's very easy to say that. But once we go there, then we sit there and think of the family members. Arey, what are they doing without me? It is so difficult for my husband or wife or children without me. So we go there and then think of the family. So Krishna says that he answers based on the audience. Please understand this. In case anybody poses a question to us, we answer based on the level of the audience. If they are kids, then our answer may be different, because it should be understandable for a baby or a child. If it's an adolescent in the teenage, then our answer is different. If the same question is posed by a person who is in the mid-40s or so, then our answer will be different, isn't it? This we come across in our daily life. In the same way, when Arjuna posed this question, raised his doubt, what is Tyaga, what is Sannyasa? Krishna answered him saying that Karma Yoga is equal to Sannyasa, is equal to Tyaga. We must understand this. The level of the purification of the mind of Arjuna. Was it purified? Arjuna's mind was not purified. How do we know? If at all it was purified, then he wouldn't have felt that, oh, I'm going to kill my elders, I'm going to kill my kith and kin, how can I do this? This kind of doubt wouldn't have come in Arjuna's mind if at all he had perfectly purified mind. Since the mind was impurified or impure, he was not able to grasp the concept. So again and again he asked questions. Just like how we get doubts, because when the mind is not purified completely, we do get doubts. So he asked the question and Krishna answered that Karma Yoga. Do this Karma Yoga. What for? You will not get Atma Sakshatkara. You will not get Atma Jnana by performing Karma Yoga. Then what do we get? Purification. Purification of the mind is extremely important for the knowledge to dawn. Knowledge of self or the soul. What we call as Atma Jnana. If that has to occur here, then mind should be completely purified. So for the purpose of purification of our mind, all of us must do this Karma Yoga. The concept of Karma Yoga is whatever activities or actions we perform, we offer it to God with the Samarpana Manobhava or Arpana Manobhava, saying that Krishna, this is for you. Then, when we receive the result of that action, we receive it with a beautiful smile on our face, with the attitude of Ishvara Prasada or Krishna Prasada, whatever comes. This is the Prasada that is blessed by Krishna only for me. At that juncture, we may feel that this is very bad for me. Why did Krishna do this for me? I have been chanting Vishnu Sahasranama every day so many times. How can he do this? So this kind of doubts, doubting Krishna, this kind of attitude will not be there when we perform this Karma Yoga. So it is necessary for all of us to do every action, offering it to God and receive the result of that action as Ishvara Prasada. So this is extremely important for purification of the mind. So from shloka number 1 up to shloka number 12, Krishna advertised for Karma Yoga. Arjuna's duty was to continue with the war, not to run away from the battlefield. You have to wage this war. Duryodhana has already waged the war. So you have to simply fight. You have to fight. Because that is your duty. So for us, Grihastha, whatever duties that we are doing, how do we do? Cribbing, complaining, murmuring. Anyway, we know that we have to do. So why can't we train our mind? Tell the mind, there is no other Gojoti. You have to do this. So why crib and complain and grumble and do it? Do it with a beautiful smile. And that Arjava should be there. What is Arjava? Integrity of the thought, the speech and the action. There should be integrity, or one of the qualities which was explained by Krishna in Daivasra Sampat Vibhaga Yoga as Daivi Sampat. So this we must try to develop. Now from shloka number 13 up to shloka number 17, Krishna talks about Jnana Yoga. Up to 12 about Karma Yoga. And now up to 17 he talks about Jnana Yoga. Here Jnana Yoga means Jnana is knowledge of the self, not the materialistic or worldly knowledge. It talks about self-knowledge. Knowledge of the soul, Atma, or whatever name that we can give to that. So he said in shloka number 13 that there are 5 factors which are needed for an action to be performed. What are they? In shloka number 14 he said, Adhishtanam, the body, the physical body or the gross body is Adhishtanam. Then Karta, the doer. Who is the doer? That ego is there. That is the doer here. Then Karanam. Karanam is different sense organs, mind, etc. This is Karanam. Then Cheshta. Fourth one is Cheshta. Second line he says Vividhascha Prathak Cheshta. Cheshta is the action that is being performed. Then fifth one is Daivam. Daiva here is for every organ we have Adhishtana Devata. For example, for eyes, Surya, sun god, is the Adhishtana Devata for eyes. So like that we have Adhishtana Devata for each organ. So that Daiva is the fifth factor. Body, then doer and different organs of the body, different actions that we perform, and Daiva. These are the 5 factors which are needed for any action to be performed. To put it in another perspective, from another perspective, this we have discussed, Adhishtana is nothing but Annamaya Kosha, the external, superficial body. Then Cheshta is Pranamaya Kosha, which actually performs the action or the power which is needed for the action. That is Pranamaya Kosha. Then Manomaya Kosha, Manas and all the other sense organs. Ichha Shakti. Pranamaya Kosha is Kriya Shakti. And within that, outermost is Annamaya Kosha, then is Pranamaya Kosha, then comes Manomaya Kosha, and the next fourth one is Vijnanamaya Kosha, the intellect, the buddhi, which is rational thinking. Is it right or not? Is it right or not? Manomaya Kosha does not think about it. It is concerned with the heart. Immediately whatever it feels, it does. Whereas buddhi is rational thinking. So this is Vijnanamaya Kosha. The 4 koshas are involved here along with the Daiva, not the Anandamaya Kosha. This is, the 5th one is Adhishtana Devata. So all these are needed. These are the factors in the performance of any action. Let us see what he says in the next shloka, shloka number 15. Sharira vang mano bhiryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavaga. This pancha, these 5 factors are needed. Hetava means reason or karana for this. Sharira, vak, mano. Actions can be either with the help of the body or vak. Vak is not English walking, speech. Then mana, manas. These are the three. Kaya, vacha, manasa. Kayena vacha manasendriyirva. Kaya, vacha, manasa. So with any of these actions that we perform, what are the actions that we perform? With the body, any action that we perform. It can be puja, it can be doing any other work, office work, household work or anything. Then the next one is with words that we speak. Or it can be chanting of Bhagavad Gita or singing bhajans or anything for that matter. What we use the tongue for, talking. Then next one is manas. With the manas what do? We plan. We plan a lot. With the manas we meditate. There are so many things that we do with the help of the manas. What should I wear tomorrow? I am going to the reception. Which jewelry will match with this saree? So much of planning that we do. This is all in the manas. Actual action takes place later. But initially the manas that plans. Even meditation, without talking, body is not moving. But we are meditating with the help of that manas. So any of these actions needs these 5 factors. If any one of the factor is not working, then action cannot be done. Sharira vangmano bhiryat karma prarabhate naraha. Please understand here, it is given for only for nara. Nara is human being. Why not for animals? Question can arise. Why not for all the bhutas? Do the animals plan? We plan. For example, I participated in a competition today. I did not get a prize. So, what do I plan? Next year, same competition, because that competition is held every year. Next year, for that competition, I will prepare well. I must get first prize. We plan. Then accordingly we work. Same thing. Go for a dog show. A dog which did well, but there were dogs which did better than that dog. Go and interview the dog. What plans do you have for the next year competition? What will the dog answer? Oh, I am planning now itself. I will practice now so that next year I get first prize. Does the dog plan? Dog will simply bark. Whatever question you ask, it will only bark. It cannot plan. No animals can plan for future. This is the greatest blessing for the human beings. We never think about this. We are blessed with this buddhi with which we can plan for our future. But unfortunately, what do? Shastra is not against planning. Shastra says plan. But don't worry. You must plan. Without planning, you cannot work. You must plan, you must set a goal and then work accordingly without having attachment to the work, either to the work or to the result of that work. So it is specifically, Krishna specifies, prarabhate naraha. He did not say prarabhate some prani, some bhuta he did not say. Only for human beings. If at all I am driving a vehicle, I am driving my car, and in case I do not follow the traffic rules, then what happens? Obviously, I have to pay the fine. Buffalo will not be arrested because rules are meant for only human beings. So Papa, Punya, all these are for human beings, which is not there for animals. So he says here, prarabhate naraha. Then, nyayam va viparitam va panchayite tasya hetavaha. Whether it is dharmic, religious activity or adharmic, viparitam, opposite to the nyayam. If at all it is opposite to the dharmika, which means adharmika, not religious, or not even right, something which is wrong, even for that, only these are the 5 factors which are responsible. What are the 5 factors? Adhisthana, Karta, Karana, Cheshta, Daiva. These are the 5 factors which are responsible for any kind of activity. You may feel that I am doing puja. Yes, these are the 5 factors which are needed. I am going to kill somebody. Yes, these are the 5 factors. I am going to cheat somebody. Yes, these are the 5 factors which are needed to perform that action. And what we must understand here is, all these 5 factors are anatma, not atma. They are all anatma. The difference between atma and anatma we have already seen. Atma is chetana, anatma is achetana. Atma is nirguna, anatma is saguna. Atma is nirvikara, anatma is savikara. Atma is nirvikalpa, anatma is savikalpa. Atma is akarta, abhokta. Anatma is karta, bhokta. To give this example, we have already seen the example of light in a stadium. There is light in the stadium, match goes on, and definitely one team wins, another team loses. Do we congratulate that light because one team has won? We do not congratulate the light. But the presence of light is compulsorily needed there. Otherwise, both the teams cannot play at all without the presence of light. Just like the fuel. Fuel in a vehicle is compulsory. It should be present, but it does not do any work. Driving, petrol does not drive the car. Petrol does not direct you saying that turn to the right, turn to the left, go slow, go fast. It does not do anything. No such guidance is given by the Atma. So Krishna says that for all these actions, you as Atma are not responsible. You are that light. In the stadium, light is needed for the teams to play. For the action to be performed, presence of the light is needed. Arjuna, you are that light. You are that consciousness which does not do any action. It is simply there. You are that. You are not an Atma. You have been identifying yourself either with the body or with the mind or with the intellect or buddhi. You feel that I am this body. Why? Because my body is getting fever. My body leg has got some fracture. So I say, I had a fracture. I have fever. What does it mean? I referring to that body. We have been doing this for many births. So it is difficult for us to identify ourselves with that Atma or disidentify ourselves from the body. If we say that car is only an instrument used for commutation. Am I the car? No, I am not the car. This much I know. In the same way, this body is used for commutation to reach him. But unfortunately, we are not able to identify ourselves with that Atma, which is akarta, abhokta. It does not do anything. We are unable to disidentify ourselves from this body or mind or intellect. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. I am not the manas, I am not the buddhi, I am not chitta, I am not ahankara. Shankaracharya beautifully says in Atma Shatka. Who am I? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Very easy to chant this Atma Shatka. Learn it by heart. And understand, to a certain extent we understand. But practically, are we able to disidentify ourselves from this body or mind or buddhi? We are finding it very difficult. We know that I am not the car. Yes, it's understandable. But I am not the body. Theoretically, we are able to understand. But practically, it's very difficult for us to disidentify. We feel that there are so many problems in our lives. Most of these problems are actually not problems, they are only situations. For example, in summer, when it is peak summer, during summer time, we struggle. So hot, it's so hot, it's so hot. Is it a problem or is it a situation? Is it only for me that it is hot? It is hot for everybody. Unfortunately, in summer we want rains. During rainy seasons we want the sun to be shining brightly. What is the situation that we are not accepting? When we grow old, what is growing old? Body is growing old. I am not growing old. I am immortal. This mortal body is growing old. But I consider myself as the body. So I feel that I am growing old. Oh, one fine day I have to leave this world. I will die. This happens because we have identified ourselves with the body. When the body becomes weak, mind also becomes weak. Then we feel, nobody is talking to me. Nobody is giving any importance to me. All are doing some work or the other by themselves without telling me anything. Mind also is becoming weaker and weaker along with the body. We identify ourselves with the body or the mind or the intellect and say that no, I am not able to do this. I just want to die. I am not going to die. The body is going to die. Body will be destroyed. I will continue to exist in a different body. So slowly, Krishna says that you must practice this. Disidentify yourself from the body or the mind or the buddhi or intellect. Start identifying yourselves with that akarta, abhokta, atma. Just like how the light in a stadium is there, you are existing always. You are eternal, shashwata. But we are thinking that I am the doer. The moment we have this concept of I am the doer, then it is karta. I have to receive that phala too. I become the bhokta. When I am akarta, I will be a bhokta. That means we are not putting anything, either punya or papa, into our basket. We have a big basket. We have been carrying this basket for different births, millions of births that we have taken. We have been carrying that basket. So in the basket we are putting either punya or papa. Only when that basket becomes empty, we get out of this world. This world, that's all, the present. So, if at all somebody is shouting at us, somebody is insulting us, how should we take it? Oh, my prarabdha papa karma is washed off. We must be very happy. When we are enjoying something, we should be thinking, oh, my punya is going down because I am enjoying. When we face difficulties, actually we must be very happy. My papa karmas are being washed off. So in case somebody shouts at you, somebody insults you, internally you must be very happy. Wow, my papa karma is being washed away by this person. Thanks to that person. Mentally you can thank that person. Can we do this? It is not impossible, but we are not giving it a try. Practically, we must start giving a try to this kind of attitude. When somebody praising, we feel very happy. When somebody is insulting us, we feel down. This should go away from us, because I am not the one who is doing. When I am not the doer, I will not receive also. Any phala I will not receive. Not easy to implement this, but definitely it is not impossible, because Krishna is saying so. So we will move on to the next one, shloka number 16. Here he talks about the attitude of an ajnani. In the 17th shloka, he talks about a jnani. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaka pashyatya krita buddhitvan nasa pashyati durmatihi. Here, durmatihi. Durmatihi means actually the one who has got bad mind. Here it is not actually bad, not the cheating kind, but because of ignorance, there is no purified mind. Impure mind is durmatihi. What does impure minded fellow who is ajnani, what does he do? Satikartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaha. He feels that I am the doer. Then what happens? I am the receiver too. Pashyati akrita buddhitva. Akrita buddhi. Samskrita buddhi, akrita buddhi. Akrita buddhi is impure mind. Samskrita buddhi. Samskrita is pure. So here he is talking about akrita buddhitvan. Because of his ignorance, he has got this kind of akrita buddhi. So he does not see. Na sapashyati. Such a person does not see anything, or he is a blind man. What does he not see? Through his physical eyes he sees the world, but his reception is grasping is totally from the different perspective. He may be having so many doctorates, so many subjects he has studied. Materially, he has got lot of knowledge. But if such a person does not have the knowledge of this Atma, then he thinks that I am the doer. I am the one who has got this PhD in 3-4 subjects. When he thinks like that, whatever is the result of that action, he has to receive it. He is karta, he becomes bhokta too. There is no escape from this because of this akrita buddhi. That is why we say world is a mirror. If I am dress conscious, then I will be looking at all the people's dresses. Oh, this color is beautiful. I must buy this color next time. This sari is very beautiful. So we will go and inquire from where you bought this. So what is happening? Desire. Then to execute that, we perform the action because desire has to be fulfilled. Then we perform the action accordingly. If I am a philosopher, then I look at that philosophical knowledge of another person. That is why we say world is a mirror. What we see in a mirror? Ourselves. If at all we feel that world is bad, people are bad, then that shows our mind. It is not about the world. It is about the perspective of receiving the world, grasping the world of my own perspective. If the world is good, it is about my own perspective. So Krishna says here that such a person, akrita buddhitvan, because of his ignorant mind, he does not see the Atma as simply existing. He sees that I am the doer because of ignorance. So this is about Ajnani, attitude of an Ajnani. Let us see what he says about the Jnani's attitude. Yasya naham krito bhavo buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa imam lokan nahanti na nibadhyate. Yasya na aham krita bhava. So for a person who does not have this aham krita, I am not the one. Na aham krita, I have not done this. Then who has done? We say that. Sometimes we say that Krishna is only doing everything. But internally, if somebody praises, I am the one who is doing. But talking, I say Krishna is only doing everything. But internally, I am the one. If it is something good, if it is something bad, then we say that is Krishna has done it. Internally also, we don't feel that I am the one who is doing it. So this is all based on context. It should not be like that. Anytime you feel that I am not the one who is doing it, na ahankrita bhava. Buddhir yasya na lipyate, no attachment at all. Either to the action, or to the situation, or to the result of the action. There is absolutely no attachment at all. Hatva pisa imam lokan na hanti. Even if such a person kills many people in the world, he is actually not killing. Na nibadhyate. There is no bondage at all. That action does not bind him. If I go and kill a person, I will be bound by that. That phala will get into my box over here or the basket. Whereas for a jnani, even if he kills somebody, it is with the attitude that something good should happen to that person. Samadana Veda Danda. Initially, Krishna tries to convince Duryodhana that give them their property. Samadana Veda. All this he tried. Then nothing is working. Duryodhana says, no, I will not give even an inch of my place. Then what is the last resort? It's only Danda. So war had to be fought. There was no other escape, no other go at all for Krishna. But what he says, such a person who feels that I am not the one who is doing it, even if such a person kills, there is no bondage at all. There is no papa or punya for that fellow at all, because he is a jnani. He knows that I am the Atma, I am not this body. This is the base of Vedanta, or this is the basis of Bhagavad Gita. I am not this body. Sometimes when we travel in train, we feel bored. So somebody comes with kadlekai, peanuts, so many variety of eatables. We feel bored sitting in the train, so we buy that, can keep munching. Because when we don't have to do anything, at least we have to eat. This is our concept. So here, there are many people who try to read Bhagavad Gita because they have time. There is nothing else to do. So I am reading Bhagavad Gita. Good. Agreed that it is good that you have time and we are reading Bhagavad Gita. But that is not sufficient. We must understand that there is connection between my life and this Vedanta. If we understand this basic concept of Vedanta or Bhagavad Gita, then self-correction can be done. We will try to analyze ourselves. Till now we have been analyzing all the others. We expect everybody, my husband should behave like this only. My children should get married to the person whom I show only. Every expectation is from others, not from myself. because I feel that I am always right. We will understand ourselves only when we go for self-analysis. For self-analysis, we should understand what it is. I am not the body. I am that Atma, I am that bright light, which is existing everywhere, Sarvavyapi. If I show these two fingers like this, what is visible to all? Two fingers are visible. What about the space between the two fingers? We do not give any importance to that space. Space is existing there too. If I remove my fingers again, space is existing there too. Fingers are visible and the space is not given any importance. Now, in the body, when this Atma resides in the body, that is existing for communication or to perform any transaction, that Atma is available. Does it mean that only bodies or living beings have got Atma? Atma is Sarvavyapi, all pervading. It is there in the objects which are non-living. It is there everywhere, just like how the space is. That is why always comparison is done with the Akasha. This is the closest one. Comparison cannot be done, but for us to understand, Krishna compares this Atma with Akasha in the 13th chapter, with the light in the 13th chapter, because that's easier for us to understand. What do you mean by Sarvavyapi? Everywhere it is existing. It is existing in these two fingers. It is existing in the space between these two fingers too. But between the fingers, what is existing? It is not available for transaction. That's all the difference is. But it is available. So Krishna is stressing on this point that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the buddhi, but you are that immortal consciousness. So we also must try to understand this, do the manana of this and try to implement this concept in our lives. This is what is self-correction. So the spiritual sadhana is nothing but purify, have the knowledge of Atma and free ourselves. This is the sadhana needed in the spirituality field. That's all. Purification, karma yoga. Then jnana yoga. Then understand that I am a free bird in this world. I am not attached to any of these. These are my parents. These are my kids. These are my friends. These are my relatives. This is my house. It is only this body's parents, this body's kids, this body's house, this body's relatives, not mine. Only in this birth they are my parents. Only in this birth they are my children. Who am I? I am not the body. So in every janma, they are not my parents. These are not my kids. It's only in this birth. But for that we have got so much of attachment. So Krishna stresses on this point that don't get attached to the body or the mind or the intellect. Try to understand who you are. So this manana we must be doing, so that we get detached from the world and get attached to that Atma or God, Paramatma. So up till this 17th shloka, he talks about Jnana Yoga. Then from shloka number 18 to shloka number 40, he talks about different topics. 6 to 7 topics he takes up, and once again Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasika, he divides them. Shloka number 18 to 40. Again summarization of the same thing what he has already talked about, but from a different way, again from a different perspective, or you feel that it is a different topic but it is the same topic in a different fashion he explains. Because once or twice if somebody explains, we do not understand anything. We are so ignorant. So Krishna knows about us. That is why he explains again and again from different perspectives. Let us see what is the next. Shloka number 18. Jnanam jneyam parijnata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangrahaka. Jnana jneya parijnata. Jnana is knowledge. Here it is about material knowledge, not the knowledge of Atma. Then jneyam. Jnana is an object about which I am gaining some knowledge. Parijnata, the one who is doing, or the karta. These three are needed. To take an example, we see an advertisement on the TV about some new mobile phone. So I see that advertisement, see that wow, this has got nice features, then the desire crops up. Why not I buy this? So first is jnana about that object, jnana, jneya, then the person. Who is the kartru? That person, parijnata. Trividha karma chodana. Karma chodana is here cause of an action or promoters of action. I am seeing that mobile advertisement of the mobile on TV. I have to get the knowledge about that mobile phone and the desire crops up. Then I perform the action to possess that. So object is needed, subject, the doer is needed, and the knowledge about that particular phone. Assume that I don't have a knowledge of anything. Here it is not only about object, one bhuta, it can be a person, it can be a situation, anything. If I don't know anything about that particular object, then I will not be interested. Now 50 to 60 years back, mobile phones were not there. Did they get an idea that, oh, I should possess a mobile phone? No, that concept or that knowledge was not there for them. It is only now that it is existing. When the knowledge about that object is there, then the desires crop up in that subject. Subject means the person who is doing it. So jnana, jneya and parijnata. These are the factors needed for initiation of that action, promoters of action or causes of action. So here it is jnana vyavahara, then karma vyavahara. First is the knowledge about that particular object, and then we start working towards getting that object. Whenever we have a knowledge of an object, either we like it or dislike it. These are the two things. Either we like it or dislike it. If I like it, raga, I want to possess it. If I dislike it, dvesha, I want to move away from that. Person, situation and object. For all the three, this is right. If I like a person, I want that person in my life. If I don't like a person, I don't want that person in my life. If I like an object, I want to possess it. If I don't like an object, it is there in my house, I want to get rid of that object. Same way, situation. Sukha. Always I want sukha only, not dukkha. I will run away from dukkha, but I will run towards that sukha. This is what life is. This is what samsara is. Likes and dislikes. So Krishna says that these are the three factors which make you work. Then karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. For the action, that is only for promoting the action. For the action, what is needed? Karana, instrument. Some instrument is needed. Karma, the action. And karta, the doer. These are the trividha karma sangraha. These are the three which actually perform the action. The first three are promoters of an action. These are for the performance of the action, these are the factors which are needed. Let us see in the shloka number 19 what he says. ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने यथावच्छृणुतान्यपि. Now he talks about the three topics: jnana, karma, karta. Tridhaiva gunabedataha. So you have sattvika jnana, rajasika jnana, tamasika jnana. Sattvika karma, rajasika karma, tamasika karma. Similarly, sattvika karta, rajasika karta and tamasika karta. This is what is said in Shastras, Arjuna. I am not saying this. I am just telling you about what is given in the Shastras. Prochite guna sankhyaane yathavat srunuta anyapi. About all these, I am going to explain to you. Listen to me now. Shloka number 20. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajnanam viddhi satvikam. About sattvika jnana. He talks about sattvika, rajasika and tamasika jnana. Let us start with the tamasika jnana. Even though he puts it at the end, I prefer to put it in the beginning. Tamasika jnana is nothing but having that feeling that I am the body. I am this body. I have fever. That means I am the body. So when you have this feeling that I am the body, this jnana is called as tamasika jnana. I study some scriptures then and I get a doubt. Am I this body or am I something beyond this? I am not the sthula sharira. I am not the gross body. This I have understood. Now I feel that I am that sukshma sharira. I am that mind. Which means that I am going to exist. Even after my death of this body, I am going to exist. But the feeling that I am that mind, which will exist later also, in the later births also I am going to exist, but the feeling that I am that mind, this knowledge is called as rajasika knowledge. Tamasika is I am the body. Rajasika is I am the mind. Whereas sattvika knowledge is I am that consciousness. I am eternal, eternally existing consciousness. This is sattvika jnana. I hope it is clear. Tamasika jnana is I am the body. We all have this kind of one feeling. Because from the childhood, we have been taught like this, trained like this. What is your name? When I was a child, I was trained by my parents to say that I am Jyoti. So when somebody questions me, what is your name? I say Jyoti. What does it mean? To the body, name is given. To this akara, to this rupa, name is given. But unfortunately, I identify myself with the body and say that my name is Jyoti. Do I actually have a name? I don't have a name. This body has the name. Because for transaction, name is needed. Rupa is needed. But as a consciousness, I don't have a name. Because I am all pervading. This is the difference between tamasika jnana, rajasika jnana and sattvika jnana. So he says that sarva bhuteshu yenaikam eka bhava. There is only one truth. There is only one reality, which is avyayam, which cannot be changed at all, which is eternal. There is no death for this reality. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. It looks as though there are many people in this world. There are so many bodies in this world. It looks divided. But actually, it is avibhakta. It is not divided at all. Can I divide the akasha? I can say that this space is mine because I have constructed a house. But the space over here, akasha over here, akasha over there is the same. There is no difference at all. In the same way, Atma over here, which is available for transaction, is the same as Atma which is there in this space, which is not available for transaction. Both are same. There is no difference. There is no difference between this body and an object over here or another body over here. There is no difference. So if at all we have this kind of knowledge, then Krishna says that Tat Jnana Vidhi Satvikam. That Jnana is called as Satvika Jnana. Avibhakta Vibhakteshu. Vibhakta, it looks as though it is divided, but actually that person Jnani has the knowledge that it is Avibhakta. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi or Sai Baba or so many such Jnanis had this knowledge. Wherever anything happens, they knew about it. How? Because they have identified themselves with that Atma which is all pervading. Why am I not able to get that knowledge? That what is happening in that railway station, what is happening in this part of Australia, what is happening in this part of US, I am not able to understand or get that knowledge. Why? Because I am identifying myself with this limited body. When we identify ourselves with either with the body or with the mind or with the intellect, it is only limited. Only when we identify ourselves with that all-pervading Atma or soul, only then that knowledge is called as Sattvika Jnana. So Krishna differentiates between Sattvika Jnana, Rajasika Jnana and Tamasika Jnana in these three shlokas. Similarly, in the later shlokas, he talks about karma, karta and some more topics that he takes up. He has already explained all these from a different perspective. Now he is explaining from another perspective so that we understand. Because the topic is very, very tough. Not easy to understand. Even if we understand, it's not easy to implement. This Krishna knows. That is why he is giving elaborate explanation from different angles so that we understand a little bit and try to implement them in our life. This is what is Jnana Yoga. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. These are compulsorily needed for us. Either reading or listening of Shastras, Bhagavad Gita or any of our Shastras. Then contemplating on these points and then trying to implement in our lives. This is what is Jnana Yoga. So why not we all try every day for a few moments at least, sit quietly and keep on training the mind. I am not this body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, but I am that all-pervading Atma. I am that all-pervading Paramatma. So like this, we have to move forward, maybe slowly. We fail so many times. No problem. We get up again and then once we have fallen, we get up and again start. Yes, this is what I am. I am not this body. So slowly we will definitely move forward because this is what is promised by Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna is none other than our representative. So let us all try implementing these concepts along with Namasmarana. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु हरि ओम्।